Hey guys, what's up and welcome to this week's video. If you guys haven't seen my last video of me cutting my hair, this was the aftermath. I kind of styled it and straightened it a little bit today, but I'm honestly still in shock at how good it looks after doing this by myself. I am just really surprised. Also, side note, I put dry shampoo in my hair before filming this video, and so if you see, oh, there it is, random splotches of white or gray, it's because I jacked this dry shampoo from my sister's room, and now I see why she didn't use it, because it just does, it's not friendly if you have dark hair. Anyway, as you can tell by the title of this video, I am going to be 24 this week, which is insane. And I know I still look like I'm 17, so I'm gonna just run with that for forever, because I know as I get older, that's gonna be a great blessing. It's so crazy to think that I'm literally gonna be 24. Like, that's insane. And I feel like when you were younger, like 24 seems so old, but I'm just like, I have no idea what I'm doing. But anyway, I figured I've seen a couple of these videos and I thought that they would be really fun to do. So here are 24 lessons I've learned at 24. Well, I'm 23 and I'm going to be 24, but you guys get the idea. Let's get into this. And yes, I wrote them down because I have a lot and some of them are pretty deep, so. The first one I have is to check in on your strong friends. I feel like so many times, you know, people are always checking in on their friends that they know are going through a really hard time, but a lot of times it's your strong friends, the ones who always seem like they have it together, who are usually struggling the most. And I think it's super important to just keep tabs on them too, because just because they look like they have it all together doesn't always mean that they do have it all together. So check in on them. Number two is leave people who don't support you. There is no reason to keep anybody in your life anymore who doesn't support where you want to be and what you want to do. I mean, you're an adult now and there's no reason to just artificially keep people behind, like with you, just to say that you have friends, but really they don't care about you. Leave them by. It's not worth your time. Number three, adulting is expensive, like rent, groceries, like just all of those things. The next one is to value family time. And it's kind of interesting saying that now, because I feel like when you're younger and, you know, when I was in college, it was like, you know, I loved coming home on the weekend just to see my parents, but then I'd be like, all right, I'm ready to go back and have fun with my friends. And it's like now with quarantine, now that I'm living back home again, I've like really learned to like love that and value that and, you know, enjoy that time while I have it. You don't need to talk to people 24/7 for them to care about you. As you get older, everyone has a life and a busy one. People are busy with work and whatever it is that they have going on. Just because they're not talking to you 24/7 does not mean that they care any less about you. Well, sometimes that is the case, but a lot of times it's not. And so you don't need to hit someone up every single day just to be like, hey, what's up, when nothing's really going on. I truly value those friendships where we catch up after like 4 months and everything's back to normal. Number six, don't live in an expensive city if you don't have to. This is more for me, but I feel like this could be applied to a lot of different people. As you guys know, a couple months ago I moved to New York because I had a job out in New York City, but a lot of the stuff we were doing was remote and a lot of the team worked remote, and so actually all of my coworkers would commute in from either Connecticut or Jersey. And while Philly isn't really a commuting friendly area to New York, I mean, you can do it, it just takes 2 hours, but at the end of it, it kind of was like, I really only need to physically be in the office like 2 days a week, and so realistically I didn't have to move there and didn't have to get an apartment, but me being me, I wanted to like be like, I'm out of Philly, like I'm ready to move to the big city and, you know, do what I want to do. And at the end of the day, it was just really expensive and I didn't have to do that. Number seven, this is more dating advice, if you will, but you have to stop letting guys do the least. Like, I found myself, and I've seen people on TikTok talk about this, but it's like now doing the least, it's like, oh my god, he actually texted me back after we met up, or like, oh my god, he texted me good morning. What? Are we settling for this? Is this what the standard is? Like, why is it that like literally doing absolutely nothing has suddenly become the standard for someone actually being really, really charming. Don't settle. Know your worth, ladies. Your friend group will shrink over time. Like, I remember being really close with people from high school and then, you know, people from college, and now it's like post all of that. Like, I have one friend from high school and like 2 friends from college, and at first I was like, oh, well, I need a big friend group. You know, I feel like I need more friends. And it's like, at the end of the day, I just value the people who care about me and who I care about. And I'd rather have 3 people I really care about and who care about me than 15 people who could care less. Number 9. Okay, so the next few I have here are, I think, probably the creme de la creme, the most important lessons, at least this one and the next one for sure. Write these down. Everyone has their own timeline and there is no rush. And I have to keep reminding myself this every single day. I feel like at this age of being like in your early 20s to mid 20s is such a weird time. There are people on my Instagram who are literally getting engaged, people who just got married, people who have kids, people who just bought their first house, people who landed their dream job, people who are unemployed, people who have no idea what they're doing in their life. It's just such a range of people who are just in such different places in life. And I think it's so important to remind yourself that everyone has their own timeline and you also have your own timeline. And I know, especially with social media, it's very easy to get caught up in being like, oh my God, like they're engaged, or like, oh my God, this person moved to their dream city. Like, why am I not there yet? And the reality is you have your own timeline. They're at theirs, and that's okay. You will get there and you will be able to do what you want. You don't need to rush into it just because you see somebody else doing that. You'll get there in your own time. Don't sweat it. Someone else's success does not stop your success. I think that is so important, and it's another thing that I found myself kind of getting caught up in, especially if you see someone who's kind of in a field that you want to be in. So, you know, being an entrepreneur, for example, I see people who are like now on their, you know, they started a business in college, now they're on their second business, they bought a home, they're now investing in real estate, they're starting another business, and you know, you see all these successes over and over, and it makes you feel like, wow, why am I not there? Like, I'm doing all the same things, I'm following the same steps, and I'm just not there yet. And it's like, I feel like a lot of times I want to be like, oh, like, what's the point? You know, they've already done it. Like, they started their business at 23, so me starting it at 24, like, I just feel like I'm so behind. And the reality is you're the only person who is thinking that. Literally nobody else is. And just because they're successful at their business and whatever it is that they're doing at this time, it has nothing to do with you starting your business when you're ready to and you being successful. Those two are not contingent upon each other. And I think, I don't know why, and hopefully this isn't just me, but I find myself psyching myself out, seeing like, oh, this person's already done this at 23, like now I can't be the person who started a business at 23, I'm gonna start it at 24 or 25. And it's like, that's like the most dumb logic that I feed myself, and it's like, why am I doing this to myself? Like, literally nobody thinks that way except for you. There's 2 things, take away that quote, and the last one. Hey guys, editing Neha from the future here. I realized I went from 10 to 12 and completely skipped over number 11, which is ironic because in my notes, number 11 was like bold and all capitalized. I don't know how I skipped it. I think I got really caught up in my little TED talk. Number 11 is stop being on your phone when you're with your friends. You make time for these people, they make time for you, and our time is so limited, and not everything is about posting it to your Instagram story. Like, value that time, be present. And honestly, the best memories I have are not photographs, they're not videos, they're just those moments I've had with my friends. Put down your phones. I hate it. It's my biggest pet peeve when I'm like out to dinner or out to lunch with my friends and everyone's got their phone out. I'm like, if you were gonna be on your phone, like, we didn't need to meet up, like we could have just FaceTimed or texted or something. It just, to me, it shows that like you just don't really care. So get off your phones. Number 12, stop caring what people think about you. That is the other biggest thing. The second I stopped caring what other people thought of me, what other people said of me, I felt so free and so liberated to do all the things that I want to do. The reality is you could literally be out here curing cancer, and if somebody doesn't like you, it literally does not matter what you do. They're still not going to like you at the end of the day. Honestly, if they're not someone who's important to you, their opinion is literally irrelevant, and you don't need that in your life. Stop basing everything you do off of what somebody else is going to think, because at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter, and you should just do what makes you happy, because somebody is always going to have an opinion, and a lot of times it doesn't matter. Number 13. This is so big, and I wish that they stressed this more in high school and college. No one does. If you guys want a separate video about this, I can totally do it. It's save money and build credit. Obviously, teaching yourself ways to save money early on is a great way. You can implement that into the future, and it really helps the way you live your lifestyle. And building credit, everything in this country is dependent on credit. If you want to buy a car, you need credit. If you want to buy a house, you need credit. If you want to rent an apartment, you need credit. Number 14, work smarter, not harder. I don't know why society has built this entire thing of like, work hard, work hard, work hard. I found myself a lot of times being like, okay, work hard, like what does that even mean? And at the end of the day, if two people have a project that they're working on and it takes one person 16 hours to do it and the other person 4 hours to do it, and they get to the same exact outcome, cool that you worked harder, but the other person worked smarter. There's no right way to do it. If you have a smarter way to do things, do that. Okay, the next two are really big in terms of career and like working. Number 15, learn how you learn. I'll repeat that again. Learn how you learn. What I mean by that is know what styles work for you in terms of understanding information. Over the past few years, I learned by watching and by doing. So I'll learn so much more by watching a YouTube tutorial or having someone show me exactly what to do and me trying it out myself than I ever will from a textbook. Like, you could give me a YouTube video of like someone, I don't know, knitting a scarf, and I'd be able to figure it out. But you could write me a book with the exact same descriptions and the exact step-by-step, and I would not be able to like process half of that information. And that's just the way that I learn. Number 16, kind of piggybacking off of how you learn, figure out a working style that works for you. There are some people who love to grind like 9 to 5, undisturbed, work through lunch kind of thing, and they're right in at 9 and they're right out at 5, and that's how they work. Some people just like to go straight through. Some people need a break in between. I have found personally that I work best. I don't mind doing an extra hour here or there, but I do need time to give my brain a break and just kind of reset a little bit and then come back with new ideas. If I'm stressed or if I'm tired, sitting there at a desk trying to do work for another hour just because I'm forcing myself to is actually counterproductive, because I'm not focusing. I'm not focusing on anything other than the fact that I am unfocused. Number 17, you can have multiple interests and be good at multiple things. This is another thing I feel like society teaches you, that like you have to pick one thing to do in your life and that is it. And that is so far from the truth. And I found myself struggling a lot, especially in like high school and college, being like, I don't know what to focus on. I have so many things that I really like and so many things I'm passionate about and so many things I'm actually kind of good at. And there's no rule saying you can't, you know, be a tech genius and start a makeup company and be an actress and be a singer. Like, there's no rule saying that you can't do that. So why not do all of those things? Number 18, it's okay to be upset and to just cry. There is nothing more amazing than a good, healthy cry from time to time. I say time to time, sometimes it's a little bit more regular than that, but you know what I mean. I honestly find it so therapeutic when I'm in a mood to just let it all out. It honestly feels so good. Number 19, self-care is super important, whatever that means to you. For some people, that's doing a face mask and taking a nice bath. For some people, that's listening to music. For other people, it's art and drawing. For some other people, it's yoga and meditation. Figure out what works the best for you and what puts your mind at ease, and do that. Number 20, travel. Going to different countries and going to different places really opens your eyes to so many different cultures and foods and adventures that I think there's only one way to get that, and that's through traveling. Number 21, back to the interest thing, you can develop new interests over time. Number 22, wear what makes you feel confident. whether that's an outfit that makes you feel really good, whether it's doing your makeup really good, whether it's putting your hair together, getting a manicure, a combination of all of those things. I found that anytime I don't have my makeup right or my outfit is just like, you know, I'm bumming it in sweats or something, I just find that I don't present myself as well as I would if I had my makeup done and I was dressed a certain way. Number 23, life will throw you curveballs and you just have to keep adapting to it. This is one of those things that I didn't realize I would have to deal with so early on in life. You hear more of these curveball things when you know, have a spouse and you have a family to take care of and all of these things that come up, but you know, life is life, and unfortunately sometimes things happen sooner than you anticipate it, and you just have to learn and adapt, and it's not always something that you want to adapt to, it's not something you want to deal with, but you don't have a choice and you're just gonna have to figure it out, and sometimes it really sucks. And number 24, another more reminder to me, but also a reminder to you guys, you do not need to have it all figured out. You're 24. Like, you're not old. When I was younger, I thought when you were 24, like, you have everything figured out. Like, everything's totally normal, and that's so not the truth. I mean, I'm 24 and I literally feel like I'm 18. Like, I don't know so many things. There's so many things that I wish I had that I don't have. I'm completely lost and confused. You're 24, you don't need to have it all figured out by now. Nobody is in control of it other than you. Alright, I hope that this wasn't too long for you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I definitely spent a little bit of time writing all of these things down, but I think that they're very valuable, that I've learned over the years and that I've continued to apply with my life, and I've found that this has just made me happier and healthier in general, so I hope that this helps you guys out. Yeah, I can't believe I'm going to be 24. That is insane to me, and we'll see what the next year comes. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you aren't already, and I will see you guys next time.